still got that Leona to look at. Daydreamin has been playing a few of the same champions as well. He does have that Lulu in there. You may see coming from his side. Shifter, we've seen him playing some pretty crazy champions, trying to bring out the 3-time Katarina. Didn't work. Ziggs, Kale, LeBlanc, Nidalee. He's got a big champion pool. He's a factor for Coast. If he doesn't get going, the game becomes that much harder.
Right, you can see that they don't spend target bans on the mid lane because his champion pool is so big.
Right.
The only thing is they take out Yasuo just because it's a strong champion at this moment. So they just want to get that one off the table and leave the mid lane as open as possible because High's champion pool isn't as ginormous as most of the other mid laners around. Right. So going to something very comfortable like LeBlanc, we've already seen so many times in the LCS how effective that champion is at steamrolling games.
Yeah, that's going to be very big for High. You saw what happened earlier. We've seen what happened when Bjergsen gets it. LeBlanc is just too scary to let through unless you focus it. And we'll have to see if they put that strategy out. Maybe they don't want to focus it. Maybe they say, we'll avoid it.
Avoiding her is hard, but yeah, they could try for that.
It'll
route.
be a task.
Now, on Coast's side here, I like what they've done with the supports because banning out Thresh, as we said, you know, he's 5-0 on Thresh. You don't want to give Lemon that champion. But then taking Annie kind of dares him to go back to Leona because Annie can harass Leona very effectively in lane. All you have to do is start your Q instead of stun. So basically all you really give up is the early invade that you would want to do with that stun.
Nobody does anymore.
Exactly. You go with the Q and you go with the Doran's ring, start spamming as soon as you get to lane, and you immediately get an advantage on her.
And there's a big factor that Cloud9 always has coming in here. I mean, Renekton is out because Cloud9 focused it, but you still have Rumble, you still have not Mundo to come out. The Shyvana is still lurking around. Actually, they leave that top lane for balls coming up to the last pick here. Sivir and Leona to be locked in. This will be the second Sivir play from Sneaky.
Right, they take the dare, but you can see the potential that they have to shove a lane is ginormous. Yeah. I said that twice already. That's a good word, though. I like that one. Sivir plus Leona, because Leona helps shoving lanes because she often can go Targons, and she can execute the early ones, and then Sivir starts with the Ricochet, and she can start shoving at level 1 as well. So whatever lane that does go to, you know, it could be a switch, but even if it goes to the 2 versus 2, they can try and not start with Meteos and not help him on his first buff and try and get the early minion wave advantage.
Zion Spartan and Wiz Fusion actually having a conversation right now about these picks that are happening. Shifter is going to be locking in the Wukong. We've seen Nintendo try his hand at that twice now, 0 for 2, but Wukong is a playmaking champion, so any given game you can get that win on him.
And there's a lot of pressure when you play Wukong because his ultimate can be devastating if you get the good initiation. Right. But he is very susceptible to being kited. When you pop your ultimate, you're not immune to any CC, so if there's ranged slows or snares on the enemy team, they can render your entire ult ineffective by using those on you and just kiting backwards, which Cloud9 are very adept at doing. They've shown time and time again that they deal with area of effect teamfight comps extremely well, just by splitting up or using something like Spell Shield for Sivir, and then kiting backwards until it's time for the re-engage.
That kite and fight to make it happen. Looks like they do have a little bit of re-engage back here, but really it looks like all forward from the get-go.
This is the Zerg comp. I mean, the four bottom champions here from Cloud9 are what you want when you go for the crazy teamfight Sivir late game. This is speeding up Shyvana and Lee Sin and Leona. They've got long-range engage, and once they get you with any sort of stun, if Leona even slows with the Solar Flare, then you pop on the hunt and you chase somebody down because they won't be able to escape.
Very color-coordinated team here from Cloud9. Soaking on the yellow. We'll see what Coast can have for the last pickup. Shifter, what are you looking for?
He's reaching.
Up. Ziggs still alive for him to play. Veigar being hovered over, 12 seconds on the clock. We're going to see what Shifter has for us. We have not seen this yet, and they are going to lock in the Syndra. We'll see if Coast can scatter some weak this game.
Yeah, very high assassination potential from both of these mid laners. This is going to be a really, really interesting matchup here. It's all going to be about the skill shots. Can the chains land? Can the slows from Syndra land to set up her stun? Both of them at level 6 can easily 100% the other champion. All it takes is a little bit of a first step from the jungler, a little bit of intervention from either jungler, and they can easily get the mid lane rolling really quickly.
So if let's take out the junglers for a second. How does this mid lane matchup work altogether.
As I said, that one is you got to walk on eggshells here. It's a very high kill potential for both of them. LeBlanc, the reason he first picked that is because she is a very safe champion right now. You can save your distortion for
the escapes.
You're going to lose out on a bit more CS, and you're going to lose out on harass. But if you do get put into a bad situation, then you are going to be able to play safe.
A little bit more safety.
So Syndra, it's really going to be all about who can get that early harass down, who can get the lead building up before the junglers.
Gotta love outplay lanes. These guys are looking to kill, maybe with a little bit of roam. But as the teams load into the game, let's check in with who you voted to take this next win. According to LOLesports.com, 92% of you think Cloud9 is going to come out on top.
That's a pretty big percentage. I expected something like that because Cloud9 are a very, very high-rated team, and Coast currently at the bottom. Plus, what they're showing yesterday, 5th game in their loss streak.
We've seen Coast do a lot of things towards the end of the season. Obviously, it'll be easier to start that momentum now, but they do it when it needs to be done. Zion Spartan usually coming out as a huge player in that category when the pressure is hit. He's like the Jordan of Coast. He hits the shots when they need to be hit.
That's pretty much the classic Coast strategy, is have Zion just get very strong and split push until late game. It's a similar thing here. Mundo pretty much always. Dyrus just went over this matchup.
Yeah,
so
he did.
Shyvana Mundo, everybody should know how this is going if you've ever watched before. We'll have to see. The thing in my mind here for the early game is still I have the question about the duo lane here from Leona and Sivir. Can they get their minion wave rolling forward quickly? And we'll see if Daydreamin has actually started with a stun or Q. And he went Q. So just as I said, I think he's going for the early harass on Lemon. As soon as they show up in lane, he'll try and chunk him down, just spamming out the Qs. And, even without going Dorian's Ring, it's still the same idea.
It's a good choice. We've seen Lemon Nation and Sneaky play a lot more aggressive than previous splits. Usually Sneaky was on the utility, the Ashe, the something that brought something else for the team. But now on kills, or a killing champion, one that can really put out that early game damage, it's different.
It is different. I like the point, though, because Sivir helps not only in team fights, but as Doublelift said before, the reason CLG was using it earlier today, she helps you get around the map to the objectives faster. Yeah. So when you can make those map movements and cause the enemy team to have to react to your first plays, then you get the first step, and that's how Cloud9 like to play the game. They always like to be in the driver's seat.
Just finding utility in different champions with a bit more strength. Lemon Nation's going to go ahead and waltz this one in. Just say hi to Wiz Fusion real quick. Real bold. Let's see. High returning back to lane. He'll walk over a ward that was previously placed by Coast as all the early wards just getting laid out right now from the trinkets.
And both junglers starting with the opposite buffs from the duo lane so that they can allow their AD and support to try and fight over those first waves and fight over the experience to get the early level 2.
Brush control. Lemon Nation looks to grab it, but the ward goes down quite quick from Daydreamin', and you're right, Kobe. It may not be the W, but they are getting the quick push on the lane here.
Yeah, they definitely jumped for it. Really, the tell is the second wave when the first melee goes down.
Very early aggression coming in from High. Shifter down to half HP, already coming in on the second wave. High looking to make this one aggressive, and he still has Ignite up.
Yeah, High going with that Flask as well means that as soon as he takes any harass, he immediately starts drinking because he has so much regeneration, but very little max combat stats. He doesn't have max health. So if a gank does come in, he's still very susceptible to being 100%ed.
Yeah.
A little bit of regen during the gank isn't going to help as much as the max health.
So Lemon Nation doing what we thought they would, just getting this wave pushed up a little bit and patiently waiting for it to come back. 12-9 in that lane as nobody's really taken too much aggression. Daydreamin's been holding on to pretty much all of his mana so far, not harassing.
I'm very surprised at that. I think it was because the early lane, or the early minions went over to Sneaky. But man, in the mid lane, High is doing his classic early aggressive lane. Bjergsen talked about it so much how, he learned, even coming from Europe, the mid lane mecca, from high. Here we go. In the bottom, a little bit of harass.
Nice boomerang. Meteos making some action happen at Wraiths. We did just hear him say he doesn't really move on something unless he knows it's going to be effective for the entire team and himself, and he's still giving Nintendo a hard time here. Gets the cripple down. That's going to be the clone out. Is he going to be able to find the force flash? No. Hit the Q. Hit. Aww.
So it's good to not take it because he got communication from high. Shifter was even half a screen away. Just because he had half a screen lead, that few seconds means everything in the early jungle fights. And even though Meteos would have the advantage 1 versus 1,
yeah,
and Nintendo, he doesn't want to go for it.
Oh, he does get the backline to Wiz Fusion. Quick Leona pass is popped out by the boomerang. Doesn't add too much effective damage just yet, but they are winning this lane in trade so far.
Yeah, and Lemon just now chugging one of his potions. He's still got an extra potion, so he's a potion up on Daydreamin' after these trades. They're both trying to drink back to full health, but really early good job here for the Silver Leona lane.
Wiz and Daydreamin', rather, still trying to do what they can here. They're only 3 CS behind. Wiz, we've seen him have bad games. We've seen him die twice before the first 2 minutes in the game, but he still can come back. He is a very constant and methodical CSer, so he just usually has a hard time in the late game when they focus him in every fight.
Yeah, I mean, they're having a little bit of struggle so far. I mean, there's these 4 minions right here will boost up Sneaky above him, but it's nothing insurmountable yet. Here comes Meteos for a very deep dive.
Yeah, the Ignite goes on. They've been calculating this one for a while. Meteos is going to stay in, and not enough damage to take down Zion Spartan as he walks around.
They lost all their health, and Nintendo's coming in for the counter gank here. Shyvana should see him from the ward. Takes her time backing off because they dealt so much damage to Zion. There's no follow-up from the laner.
Going on at Daydreamin', very nice attack. Sneaky not really able to go out with anything, just using the boomerang blade there. It's on cooldown, so it's a little deterrent from getting damage on the turret. Cloud9, Sneaky's got to be careful now. He's definitely losing the damage trades.
Daydreamin's got his stun, but Sneaky has spell shield, so he's holding on to that one, and the stun would have to be right next to him, have to be instant to catch him off guard.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he'll probably just be using that on Leona to peel for Lucian.
It's a scary thing. They hit the stun, it's good to go. You get the shield, and you'll see Lemon Nation on Wiz Fusion in a few seconds. That'll probably be first blood of the game. It's a 200 gold lead just from what's happened. A little bit of that countering by Meteos in the jungle, but nobody has a real definitive lead just yet.
And you can see that Meteos doesn't want to give up on that counter style. Even though he wasn't able to make anything happen from the early invade, he's purchased a bunch of wards here. Pink and green wards, in addition to the trinket ward. So he's working on the vision to continue to control the map here against Nintendo, try and catch him out in a poor gank and turn it around. Lee Sin's amazing at counter ganking Wukong because he can reveal him with either of his 2 damage-dealing spells.
Meteos always happy to buy wards up. Like we said, he's got some 40 assists on his Lee Sin play right now, so he's ready to just get assist gold. He's not looking for that kill money to be super strong. He's ready to help the team.
And the second thing that he's done, he's helped the team by placing that pink ward bottom. Even though he doesn't go for this gank, it makes Coast play defensively in the lane because they have no vision. They're blind right here. They have to constantly have this thought in the back of their mind that a Lee Sin could be attacking them at any moment. So he's just putting that fear into them until they see him on somewhere else on the map, which that ward in the top river may have done. Then they have to play defensively.
It's a good rule of thumb. You should always consider that someone is in any brush that's not warded next to you. He's going to be going for the red here. Balls is going to come down to help, give a little bit of safety. And here, Kobe, you can even see, like you were talking about before, the countering in the jungle isn't just the jungler. Mid and top are moving to help.
Yeah, I have pretty much talked about that all day yesterday, but it's still true. It's still a really big point. I'm glad that a lot of these teams are backing up their junglers because they definitely need it.
Feels good, doesn't it?
It does.
Feel good for junglers around the world. 8 minutes on the clock.
One for the home team.
Let's see what Shifter can do. They're roaming a little bit. He did also come down there with Nintendo because they almost had a quick engage. Let the blue buff transfer over to high. He's already been having quite a nice, I'd say, not dangerous in the mid lane, safe mid lane. As we said, he was going to be keeping himself distance from Shifter.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they didn't try and harass each other. They were both trading pretty evenly. Because High was able to go with the flask, he was regenerating up very effectively. But the first roam really is the double gank. The jungler and mid going down bottom. It's been called out by Cloud9.
That's great.
So just the fact that Cloud9 was tipped off is enough to stall Coast in their movement. And now you have to make the best of this bad position. Hey, we've got 4 people down bottom. What do we do? Do we go for Dragon? Do we get a turret? We have to make something out of that time, or it's all just wasted money.
See, Ball is playing this a little bit differently. Dyrus, when he was playing Mundo just now, was able to take down a Shiv 82-56 in this top lane here. Meteos making a second appearance, but not yet. Okay, now he did.
Okay, I have to say that it's very dangerous to go for this again here. They have the Ignite, though. He burned him.
I don't think they care that it's quite dangerous. There it is, the kick coming from Meteos, the first blood. Again, methodically done.
So the thing, though, that I was trying to point out is that Coast, with that roam down bottom, they sent all their resources down there. It made Cloud9 confident that they can make a play anywhere else on the map. And even though Meteos sat in that bush for a while, they knew there was no possibility of anyone coming to Mundo's rescue. So they had the confidence to make the turret dive, and Coast didn't get anything with 4 people down bottom. They should have been able to take an objective, either Dragon or the turret, because they even saw the duo lane recalling, but they decided to back off, and it seems like a wasted opportunity.
Everything that they had on the screen in front of them told it was going to be in their favor. Level 8 balls to a level 7 Scion Spartan. They're just playing what the book's telling them right now. Good damage onto Shifter in the mid lane. High trying to keep that aggression down. He's gone for 2 Doran's rings. The Shifter's Chalice in the mid lane.
Yeah, I want to call back to the video, too. Where Meteos was talking about not wasting time as a jungler.
It's always going to count.
Just walking around, if you're walking one way and then you cancel whatever you're doing, and you have to walk all the way back, that right there, just wasted time, is a mistake. Yeah. So a rotation like that takes a lot of your team's time, not necessarily flashy. It doesn't get called out on the screen or anything, but you are losing out. As we saw, High was able to shove the mid lane in, and they lost minions to the turret, and there was effective gank top. So those little things all add up. That was some nice ward killing right there. Stylish ward kill.
Quick just process of thought, right? We would have been like, oh, I'll get that ward later, but he knows he can get in, get out. That's what Meteos is thinking all the time about the next step and what he can do to give his team the advantage. We're looking at 11 minutes on the clock and a 2,000 gold lead.
Yeah, you kind of feel like a gymnast on Lee Sin. I think Jat was the one who was talking about the jungle gym. Whenever you get wards everywhere, and you can just feel so free because you're such a mobile champion with a safeguard. Oh, now he's coming in bottom, but he's sitting on a ward.
He hatched that right out, and seeing the vision of the behavior of Wiz Fusion and Daydreaming right now tells him that, so he's going to get a little bit of experience from the golems, maybe come back for the lane gank, but that's already warded as well. And I got to say, Coast is keeping some good deep wards in the side of C9 in the bottom jungle.
Yeah, the bottom lane here is warded up all over. And it's because it's such an explosive lane. They've got the supports post level 6. Leona and Annie are 2 of the highest skill potential supports here. Either of them landing the chain CC would be pretty much a dead AD carry here if there was any jungler to join the party. So both teams want to get full vision of that area. If a bottom lane goes down, it means an objective after. I mean, that's easily going to be a dragon, or it could be some turret damage, because those are the weak turrets.
They might be able to make something happen with Scion Spartan. He is having trouble in that top lane, but the teleport could kind of give them an edge here in what happens at that dragon. A lot of pings going down in the mid lane. A pink just put down by Nintendo Dex there. So C9 is also privy to that area being covered by Coast. I
like how that one ward that Meteos saved with 1 hit left on it too. Still doing a lot of work for Cloud9. Yep.
Definitely getting a return on investment from that. They're going to head up. They got timers on this as well. Nintendo, do they have the ward on that? Actually, they're going to go ahead and call this down. The movement of Coast in the bottom lane calls the mid lane back in.
This is a really great call this time from Coast, because they knew that Meteos has the red timer down for Coast, so he's like, yeah, let's continue to invade, take away a red, another red. They say, okay, we're going to answer that with Dragon. But mid lane takes a lot of damage.
And you can see that got really dangerous, but that's what you were just talking about, Kobe. They wanted red, and they second-guessed it. They backed off because they saw Dragon happen.
And they might still fight over that red. Cloud9 actually have the positional advantage because they're in the bushes first.
Easily grabbing and making it look like their side of the jungle, too. Coast can't do much to get back in. You still got balls pushing Diamond Spartan into that lane.
That wasn't actually red. We were tricked. It was just the babies that they left there from the last invade. So scratch all of that, mind games. Just kidding.
We're still trying to get an advantage here in the top lane. Lemon Nation taking a drop in the bottom. It's going to be onto Daydream, and they had no idea this was coming. the aggression in the top lane really giving everybody a look to the mini-map, and they tunneled a bit there.
Yeah, they burned Zion Spartan's flash up there, and he's going to have a really tough time sticking around. Some jungle support has been called in so that he can farm freely.
You Daydreaming just jumped in his chair there. Did not expect that coming from the side of Lemon Nation. I don't think anybody did. 14 minutes on the clock. We're seeing now that Cloud9 is trying to put a little bit more gold in their pocket with these initiations.
All right, I want to go back to that lizard thing one more time.
Let's go back.
It was the right time for it to spawn again. You know, every 5 minutes red buff comes up, so I was like, yeah, 12 minutes. They timed it well. Meteos, I think he assumed that they had cleared out those baby lizards, and that's how I'm going to save that one. But now, top turret being
double
down.
mind games will leave it down, so when they go for it, they're tricked.
Yeah. So Nintendo's next level already. But now that the top turret and the mid turret are down, pretty much that whole side is C9 territory now. So they are free to ward it up. And with Dragon not on the table, there's not a lot to answer down bottom. So a lot of more plays could be made from this upper side of the map for Cloud9.
You see High's build, not the fiendish Codex at first. He's trying to match that power that Shifter can put out with a needlessly large rod right away.
Just Wukong showing in lane right there. Probably saved a little bit more damage for Syndra.
Good hold on Daydreaming for the stun there. He's just hanging out. Oh, Scout of the Week! The ultimate comes out. The Ignite is there. Not going to be enough.
You can tell how touchy this matchup. It's very touch and go. Okay, down bottom. Support fight.
Touch and go indeed.
Support fight.
Let's go.
They've got little mittens on here.
I was ready for that
smacking each other with a wooden sword and a little teddy bear. Doesn't hurt that much.
With Meteos now in the bottom lane, that vision is going to give Nintendude and Shifter a little bit of freedom here in the mid. They split the map wide open, but they're losing the third turret of the game for themselves. The outer three have been taken down. Cloud9 looking to move up a little bit more.
So the next thought for Cloud9 probably going to be continued vision, at least in this jungle. But if they try and bite off another objective here, the blue buff, without their mid laner, they would definitely lose, and we'd have a repeat situation like we saw in that TSM game, where they actually had the numbers advantage. And oh, just kidding, you don't have to fully invade.
Womp womp.
Meteos beats out Nintendude in the Smite Wars. Looks like Nintendude smoked first as well.
Smoted. Ignited.
Now
like
I'm going to leave it as a
ignited. 16 minutes on the clock. We have a 2.4 thousand gold lead coming in for Cloud9. They look to be 2 turrets ahead right now. Sneaky's he's saying I'm a little too far up, even though we have an entire security system around me right now of wards.
Plus, he does have the flash up, so he's got his escape, but doesn't want to burn that just for a little bit of tower damage.
Got a lot of minions to farm in that bottom lane. He needs to get down there with Meteos.
I like how Coast are getting vision back in their own jungle, though. They know they've lost all the turrets up in this top side, so they're putting some down. What a move by High. Pretty sure he got the Wraith right there, too.
Yeah. You saw the animation go over. He was just waiting patiently in the wing there. Not really to kill Shifter. He's just trying to give him a hard time, and he's been doing that in lane. They're actually quite close and even in this lane, 128 to 131. So kudos to the play of both of these guys.
Yeah, really the difference is coming from the build path. Shifter, feeling the heat early, has gone with Magic Resist with that early Athenes, whereas High is just going straight up damage. He wants to rush the DFG, as usual from Syndra, or from LeBlanc. And he wants to be able to blow people up. Now, I love that build specifically against Wukong, as I said, because ranged harass really, really hurts out Wukong. If you can silence him and lock him down before he's able to get off the initiation, then that is a giant win for your team in the upcoming team fight.
See if they can keep protection onto, I don't even know if they need to try and keep protection on Sneaky. He can really get himself out of anything. On the Hunt's going to be on, Spell Shield. These guys are fit for these fights that Coast is going to bring to the table.
Yeah, the bottom lane is feeling very confident, so they're leaving them to their own devices, and they're going to the side of the map that we said they had a lot of control over. They're trying to make a play in this map that they've opened up top.
Diving right by Zion Spartan. That was a nice duck by him, but I don't think he's going to live throughout this one. Meteos is going to come in and get that execute on the Sonic Wave.
So there's the play. They're able to capitalize pretty much how they laid it out, but the answer from Shifter is canceled. Never mind. They reinitiate the call. A little bit of debate going on. Lemon Nation playing defensively, and they back off. So Cloud9 really giving and taking at the appropriate times.
See, I feel like when Coast does this, they're a little bit lax in their engage. They do take it. They took a lot of damage there. One more member from Cloud9, and that's a full engage.
They didn't waste their time this visit bottom, though. They were actually able to get the objective this time around and secure some gold for the team. So that's a little bit of an improvement. The only thing is they took so much harass doing it that they're going to give up the Dragon, even though they've got Wukong and the AoE ultimate is ready. They don't have the numbers around it. And it's a huge win here. Again, Cloud9 really running out in front with this one.
And although that kind of show that, you know, Coast is kind of jumping before they think about where they're jumping, because wouldn't that have been better for Dragon and then that turret in the bottom lane possibly?
So I like your little analogy there, because it seems like they're thinking on the fly with their plans, whereas before Cloud9 move, they make the call and they get everyone's buy-in for the call. Seems like Coast are making the call as they're moving. So it's interesting. You can sort of see the plays as they happen for Coast, whereas Cloud9 seem a little bit more premeditated.
They have a good wave down in the mid lane, so Cloud9 taking this time to somewhat reset themselves here. They know they have the lead. They don't have to pressure anything too much, or at least Lemon Nation might want to here. Gets another ward.
Lemon Nation getting deep, though.
Yeah.
Because they did such a good job with the vision, Nintendo doesn't know if there's one person there or 5 persons. People persons.
There's a ton of them. It's going to be a party. It did take enough time. I like the fact that Lemon gets into an area like that and just patiently waits, and then you see the team just start to formulate around him. That almost became another good engagement for them, just because their vision is on the up and up, and Coast can't do much to sweep this out. Their sweepers are constantly down, and they haven't hit all the wards yet.
All right, Coast are grouping up. They want their team fight now. They want to try. Ooh, Wukong took a lot of harass there.
Yeah, no armor there yet.
You can actually burst him down pretty easily when he does come in for his ulti. If they all focus him, you know, plus he's only level 10, so it's just the level 1 ulti right now. Very dangerous for Coast.
And we come into this game saying Meteos has a really great Lee Sin play, and he's already 2-0-0 on this game. He's not looking to get the assist this time. He's looking to say, get on my back. I got a big enough backpack, and let's go. 21 minutes into this, Cloud9 complete control over Coast's blue. And really, Coast is losing having a jungle right now.
Yeah, not only the top side of the map, but now bottom side is secured because they've put even more wards down and taking out that turret, really helping them suffocate this Coast team. They've already got them second-guessing themselves. Now it's just a matter of trying to pick off a member of Coast. Whereas Coast, they really want to make their move. Once they have Wukong and Annie hit level 11, that right there is the combo they want. Like, Coast are built all around that. The double AoE wombo. They're hoping it can hit.
Just like Ball said in the beginning, Daydreaming in the backside, a beautiful solar flare stops Tibbers from really getting anywhere it needs to. When they get back on this, that turret should go down eventually.
They really needed both to get anything here. And since one is already blown, the next team fight's going to be hard for them to hold. I mean, Mundo can teleport in, but you're still going to be fighting without Tibbers, so it's going to be all on Nintendo. He's got a really tough job here.
Oh my gosh.
There he goes. He hits High.
High is in the backside. The clone stays in, but High gets a chain out, even still getting damaged. Zion Spartan teleports in. They're regrouping, and they beautifully just all slide against that side of the wall, get back into position to re-engage.
Yeah, still to level 10, still very squishy. Not much of a chance there for the Monkey King, and Nintendo falls. Valiant effort, but it's going to be Cloud9 with a pretty easy siege of this turret now.
4,000 is the gold lead. Oh, nice scatter the weak, stopping the Dragon's Descent damage to come in. Shifter, though, gets cut down very fast. Meteos gets to the back line. His 3rd kill of the game, his 4th kill of the game, and the 2nd-tier turret in bot lane for Cloud9.
And to add insult to injury, Lemon gets out with double-digit HP. They get 0 kills off of it, and Coast have probably been heartbroken right now. It's really tough to come back from a 5-0, right? See, we watch it one more time. Even though they knock balls out, Lemon, again with the engage, able to land it, and Meteos goes all the way in to finish off the kill. Talking about kicking him in the back of the head.
Gosh.
That one's going to take out the doctor.
And that passive auto attack. So close to killing him. And credit to Lemon Nation. His Thresh game yesterday was amazing. He was hitting hooks left and right. It might have been 13, 14 consecutive hooks in a row to keep the game going. And again, on Leona. They're the only 2 champions he's played this split, and there's a reason why.
Yeah, very successful on both of them.
Yep.
Leona a little bit less so, but he's done a great job this time around.
He's looking to fix that.
Exactly. And he's also being a team player this time around. You can see he's got the aura for his team going with it early.
Yeah.
I guess he just...
See what he can do. Locket of the Iron Solari will be formulated out of that. Zion, Spartan, and Balls to go back to it in the top lane. Balls with a nice red buff taken down on him as well, so he'll be able to pretty much harass out Zion continuously, as it has been all game. 230 CS in that lane to 176. And Meteos did a great job to get Balls going in that top lane.
He did. Balls is really having an easy time now because Siobhan at this point with the Blade of the Ruined King is able to do exactly what she wants with Mundo shove him under the turret, but a 4 versus 4 fight mid is still hard to pull off because, as we said before, you need to combo those AoE ultis, and Cloud9 are so good at spreading out. I don't see Coast getting more than 2 people with either of those CCs.
From the side, the scatter of the week again, 2 for 2 on that one, but is it going to be enough this time? They are able to take down Nintendo. That Cyclone did just go off, but like you said, Kobe, without being tanky, it just goes down.
Yep, they weren't able to land the combo, and Cloud9 walk away with not only with the snipe, but also the turret.
It's getting pretty bad. They're bullying Coast off of pretty much everything here, and it's not. They're just, give me your lunch money. We're going to take it and get more.
It just looks so grim right now for Coast because if they venture anywhere outside of their base, this Cloud9 team, we already talked about their chase potential. It's unreal. We can even say the initiate between 2 turrets. They get the silence on Daydreamin for long enough that they can't combo it. The Tibbers with that with the Wukong ult, you know, he even threw it down, but it still wasn't enough. Nintendo just gets blasted as soon as he gets inside. He's even gone more tanky than usual with most of the Wukong starting out that Lizard Elder.
That is true.
He's gone for a little bit more health, but man, he is just getting annihilated.
Cloud9 has pretty much found their way in on this initiation. They get Shifter to use that scatter, get that stun down, and then it's Balls is perfectly fine. He's still in the fight with that burnout on, and that's when Leona can come in. That's when High feels safe to go in and not get shot down in a matter of seconds, because that is the result they're getting on Coast. 6-0. So far, this game is a kill shutout. They found 3 turrets. They were able to open up that front side of C9's map, but the journey, I don't think, is going to take them on that side of the map anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, they're currently on the blue side and taking away yet another blue.
Yep.
Meteos still hasn't died as well on Lee Sin, so this could be 4 games in a row if they're able to finish it out cleanly, where he does not drop a death.
Unkillable, right? That was the nickname he was given towards the end of the split last season.
Oh, Balls runs into 3 people here, and they're so scared because they don't have vision.
Oh my gosh,
they all run to the
3v1,
hills.
4v1. Wiz is there as well, and they are going to have to back out. Ball's just doing what he can, flexing the muscles, and it looks like Coast is running scared.
I'd be running scared too. Like I said, their small amount of vision that they do have is going to delay Cloud9 a little bit on the Baron, but they still have a pretty easy team fight. All they have to do is lure Coast away from a turret, and they can easily chase someone down. And on the hunt, even before the fight starts, could enable Leona to get in range just to throw off the solar flare, and tag somebody.
Right, they have so many options to just get into the fight, back in. We thought they'd be kiting a little bit of this, but they are so
really
ahead.
Close to the bush.
Ooh. That was close. Felt that one.
Pretty much.
Winced a little for
them.
them.
Pretty much the rest of the game is going to be like that for Coast. They're all feeling very tense. Every moment they get close to a bush is going to be, is somebody in the bush waiting for me? Because they can't check these bushes leading up to Baron without a scrying orb.
Oh, a small heart attack. Small heart attack. Leona Elimination onto Daydream, and that is a perfect initiation. I haven't seen that Bear Tibbers for a long time.
No, and she's probably sad about that too.
Yeah.
Missing her plushie. High and Lemon doing a pretty good job. 2-man squad here. Lemon goes in alone though.
It's the gap closers again, the weak, but they can't do it this time to Balls, and he's right into the fight. A beautiful 4-person Randuins. They're all forced to scatter here, and everybody's health bar is getting shut down on the side of Coast. Cloud9 focusing down to Zion Spartan. They're going to have 3 onto that beast. It's going to take a while here. Just get your popcorn, start eating a little bit. He might even get away. It's going to be the extended version.
Oh, High with the flash follow!
Oh!
Short-chained.
Very good fight trying to come in there. 2 did go down for Coast.
All right, that means a Baron still, though. I mean, they did come out ahead. It would be pretty dangerous for Coast to go contest, but Wiz Fusion might be able to do it here.
Ooh. There's a Sheen. There's a Sheen. Is he in range for the Q? I don't think so. Whoa, Daydreaming. Throws down Tibbers in the press. There comes the Baron. Where's Nintendude? He is all the way in the base. There will be no smite here. A great kill coming in from Zion, though. Kobe, this could be bad. Double kill. That's going to be sneaky on the bottom side that we didn't see coming in. They may be able to turn here. Cloud High is so close. He gets the chain, the triple for Sneaky. A very scattered fight they were able to pull back together.
Just barely able to cash in and get that Mundo kill, but they had to abandon the Baron at around 2,000 HP. As a jungler, Meteos really wanted to finish that one off, but Mundo teleporting in is the big part of this fight. You can see him come right in, daydreaming, talking with the rest of the team, stuns him up so that everybody's left in the pit with Zion, and Mundo's just running a rampage, trying to choose which person to go after. Sneaky makes quick work of the Lucian by himself, and then comes to save his 2 teammates, adding the damage to be able to burn through this tanky Mundo.
Now they did stop the Baron. Yes, they did. We didn't get a picture-in-picture of them going to do it again, but right now it's like they already have Baron compared to where Coast is at, so this is going to be already a tough matchup. We see that Sneaky's actually going for the, not the Static Shiv build rather on Sivir, but the Phantom Dancer. A lot of ADs have been switching to that.
The Phantom Dancer definitely going to help them out. Add even more mobility to him so that he can get from one side to the other of the fight. And I think the focus here for the items is going to be on Vision for Cloud9. They definitely want to upgrade their sweepers, as many of them as possible, so they can get the Oracle sweep, which basically gives you double the value of your sweeper because you can cover at least twice the area, being able to walk around once you have that Oracle's Elixir Vision for a few seconds.
So great game by Balls in the top lane. He was really just given a kickstart by Meteos, and he took that to himself in the 1v1 in that top 279 to 214. Everything and every advantage they have allows them to do things like this so calmly and cool-headed that they don't even have to try to engage, waste anything to get out of that.
And as long as we're looking at items, I do like the Banshees on Meteos because he won't get caught in the AoE stuns if those are the initiations that are going to start out. So he can pull off the play for Lee Sin. If he needs to counter initiate, like kick them all back, if Annie and Wukong, ever do get a good combo, you can block one of them and try and get a quick kickoff to spread out Team Coast and interrupt the combo that they want to put off. Combo breaker, if you will.
Yeah, I believe it was Zion Spartan that said earlier Cloud9 has some ridiculous rotation. They're always communicating with each other, and it's shown. I don't know when the last time Coast has got a blue or a red buff or the Dragons coming out here. We're 31 minutes into the game, completely in the driver's seat, and 12,000 gold in the lead. Cloud9 looking for a victory soon here.
Yeah, I mean, this is the advantage of running the very high mobility team fight champions. They can run all over the map, grab each objective, and then by the time they get back to Baron, they've got complete vision control, and they force Coast into a bad spot, once again pulling them out of the base, making them fight away from turrets.
Slowly working on Baron. They're saying, come on into the pit. The water's warm. It's completely safe. We want to party. Lemon Nation says, actually, we'll bring it to you. They bring on the hunt. Talisman of Ascension possibly on. I don't think Lemon actually has it. Nintendude, very nice Cyclone, but who's it going to kill on this one? He's only dealing damage to multiple people. There's nobody to finish these kills off. In the end, for the Squishies, a good kill by Wiz Fusion to get himself the retribution kill. The double kill for Balls. And Kobe, it's just a massacre again.
They used both the Tibbers and the Cyclone only on Sneaky. Both of those AoEs just trying to take out the AD carry. Meanwhile, the rest of the Cloud9 just run rampant through the back line of Coast, and they decimate them, easily turning into the base now. Pretty decisive win here for Cloud9.
Meteos going in for first lead death. He was gladly doing that for his team, and they're going to go ahead and go around the horn here, possibly getting the top tier turret as well. And this base is being opened like a Christmas present right now, and Cloud9 is loving what's inside.
That's a good point, though. Meteos did scuff up his Lee Sin record.
He did.
Coast are able to scratch him, at least.
58,000. That's 16,000 gold lead coming in. 8-3 in turrets, 11 are on your side of Summoner's Rift, so that leaves the bottom and the Nexus turret.
All right,
Here's
so,
the fight.
Yeah, let's watch the dive, because early on the hunt enables the rest of Cloud9. They all dive except for Lemon. As we said, Wukong's still susceptible to CC during a Cyclone. Lemon able to keep him off Stinky just long enough, even though the Tibbers and Cyclone are used on him. They keep him alive for long enough, and they're able to just decimate the back line of Coast.
Getting some great support fights this game. They're going toe-to-toe quite a bit here. We are about 34 minutes into this matchup. Cloud9 methodically, surgically removing Coast from every fight, every objective control that they try to put back in their favor. And it looks like Cloud9 is really back on track to what they were doing in the spring split. Or I could say the summer split.
And they're still playing the Baron dance here with 2 inhibitors down. If Coast leave the base, then they lose out on much more than just minions.
This is big. That's like Baron on Baron on Baron right now for Cloud9. So far ahead, 16,000. And it looks like they're going to pressure down onto this bottom turret. There's nothing to push in the mid or in the top. Let's see what they can do in this bottom lane. The wards are still trying to be put down by Coast, but they're only fighting in their base right now. It's just to let them know that Cloud9 is coming.
Yeah, it's going to be a tower dive coming. Straight to your face. Balls is going to start this one off. He's got plenty of armor to tank up this turret. They don't have to dive. They can easily just wait outside the turret and let super minions push in. But I don't even feel like Cloud9 have to wait for that at this point in the game. If they get a good solar flare, they'll probably just jump on it. And all they have to do is keep in mind that they're spreading out. As long as they spread out and avoid multiple people getting locked down, should be a pretty easy execution.
They didn't even knock, and they're in the front door. Nintendo is not going to be able to Cyclone this time. No, he does get out on the clone, but again, taken down instantly. Not enough tank to be built in that game. Cloud9 is not giving Coast the time to respond to pretty much anything here. From the fountain back into the fight, that's where they're finding safety. Balls lives just in the end.
No!
Oh, no! He suicides himself into the turret. Shifter gets the kill there, but I think it's too little too late. The Nexus looks to be going down, and they're going to be going for it with the kills.
Shifter lives, though. Can go back to the fountain and heal up. So many minions on the Nexus, though.
Meteos, there we go. Everybody's able to get the last few shots in. There's the man on your screen. He does get a death this game, but he still carries his team to victory.
Man, that was a very, very good showing from Cloud9. They pretty much got everything that they wanted from the early game. Even though the early invade from Meteos wasn't successful, the first one, I know he had to back off. They didn't let up. They didn't let up on the plan, and they went back to that red side jungle over and over again. They dove top lane twice.
It was in twos this game. If it doesn't work the first, we'll give it a 2. If not, we'll move to something else.
Try again.
Yeah, they stayed away from the Annie. They were not like, we're diving the Tibber is not what we want to do. Even with Lee Sin being able to get in and out, they know exactly what they needed to focus. Meteos was in the top lane when he knew he could get a kill. And it really snowballed balls so much in that lane. We saw almost coming up to 298, almost hit 300 CS, but it was 241 in that other lane for Zion Spartan. So we've seen, Yadira said, you know, I outscaled Shyvana on Mundo that game, but it's really comes down to the player behind the champion.
Right, Cloud9 play to their advantages. There's the graph of the Shyvana and Mundo. Like Shyvana starts up here, Mundo starts down here, and they slowly go like this. If Cloud9 fights all in this side of the time zone here, then Mundo never gets to that point. They get him behind on gold early, and we see exactly what happened there, where Balls is able to continuously draw so much attention up to the top lane, and he's got backup. Even if you go there, Meteos is constantly in that jungle invading, and High is very quick to answer the rotations as well.
Coast has been trying things themselves. Nothing is coming around, though. What do you look at this point in time when that's the case?
I think that they do need to have a better laid out early game plan, you know, before they step into the game. Some of the rotations, like we talked about, it seemed like they were kind of making audible calls in the game.
On the fly.
Yeah.
Right when it's happening.
Maybe if they set up a couple more preset plays, like say, hey, we're going to go with blue 2, everybody dragon now, or something.
Eagle Eye 41, go. And that's the bottom turret. Unfortunately, not the dragon. We got to take a quick break right now. When we come back.